Coronavirus, how scared should you be? Calombaris crushed. CBA looking like a bank that's got a few issues about fast growth. CSL, what a deliverer. And of course, well, I can't read that one there. That's it. I've got it all. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money. I'm mad about my intro.
That was an appalling introduction, Peter, but why'd you start again? Okay, let's go back to...
We can't start again.
Okay, the virus. What's the issue with the virus?
The virus. Well, the thing is this. How come Wall Street is not so scared as it should be?
Well, a couple of now items coming out. One, the virus growth seems to be slowing down.
Correct. John Hopkins University said that.
And two, I mean, the US economy or the US market it's an internal economy, right? And we know we talk about trade's important, but it's largely US economic growth that determines what happens in America. That's looking okay. Yeah. So look, Americans are optimists, right? Yeah. I think that they'll come back to the virus, but they just keep ploughing ahead.
Well, also Ray Dalio, who's the boss of Bridgewater Associates. Now, Ray is the kind of guy who's not just a natural positive person. He thinks the economic implications have been exaggerated, probably more for America and maybe the rest of the world, because when you think of it, most of the infections are in China. And also what's interesting is kids aren't affected. It's all people over the age of 60. 80% of people over 60.
I won't
kids
say
are being free from the coronavirus.
We're going to die at some stage anyhow. But look, I mean, we're more impacted because of our dependence, not so much on oil, but two industries here, tourism and, of course, services for education. So much less impact in the US. But look, interesting, Blackmore's out today. They're quite worried about it. Pretty ordinary trading update from Blackmore's. They're blaming the virus already, so expect to see more of that. So some of our sort of stock darlings that have done pretty well out of China are going to have problems, not just with the supply chain, but getting goods into China. And that's going to impact some of those
And tourists
companies.
buy stuff as well. Even Richard Murray from JB Hi-Fi said to us yesterday, there is going to be a little bit of effect in terms of demand, but he's worried about the supply chain. Now, let's go to Calombaris, the master chef, celebrity chef, who was branded as a wage thief by Fair Work and the media as well. Paul, I just reckon he made a big mistake. And the fact is, Woolworths made a bigger mistake. They underpaid $300 million to 7,000 old workers. So these smaller businesses can easily make mistakes when awards are so complicated.
They are very complicated. Now, I don't know enough about Calombaris to say whether he did or didn't make a mistake, but I understand what you're saying about the complexity of payments. Now, there are a lot of people in those industries. This is the problem with penalty rates. You talk to kids who work with a lot of cafes and things. A lot of cafes don't pay any penalty rates, right? It's just all cash in hand. Yeah. There are a lot of small businesses not paying what they're supposed to under the award. Yeah. But some of the bigger companies, it can't be excused. But there are a lot of complexities. That's certainly the case in the Woolworths situation. Yeah. And I guess there's certainly perhaps some of the argument around our celebrity chef.
But what staggered me was the media really loved calling him a wage thief, and others as well, like Woolworths. Interestingly, the ABC has made a mistake with their casual.
The holier than our ABC, of course, can't make a mistake, but they can't even pay their own staff. So
imagine if you call a journalist a truth thief.
Yeah, imagine.
So you imagine that.
Yep.
Okay, next story. So let's go to CBA first.
Well, CBA's come out this morning. What I describe as a workmanlike result. Probably the big issue is it's maintained its dividend at 200 cents a share. Yep. It's also said that it's coming back to a more normal payout. So I guess that means that the next dividend, which has been 231 cents, it's going to be well above its ratio, but it'll get back to the payout ratio over time. No off-market buyback. I mean, the point about the CBA...
What would they want to do on the off-market
Well, they've actually asked surplus capital, right?
Yeah,
and I think that they're still looking at capital options. So that's going to disappoint a couple. The point about the Commonwealth Bank is it's definitely, it is the premier bank, and it has got a bit of both, asset growth. It actually grew home loans at better than system. But it's trading at a 38 to 35% premium over the other three major banks. Yes. I don't think Commonwealth Bank deserves to be at that premium. So, whereas I don't think this is such a bad result, there's nothing really that exceptional in it. Yeah. The question is, there's a lot better value to be had in the other three major banks than the Commonwealth.
So you're
That's
basically
the premium.
saying even if CBA's share price should rise over the next year, it will probably be at a slower rate than the other banks.
I expect more and more people to be switching into the other three major banks.
As shareholders.
Simply, as shareholders, simply they're too cheap. That's not saying the CBA shouldn't be at a premium,
No.
but 35 to 38% is too much, and that premium will narrow.
This is the guy who was a mentor to Matt Common, the boss of CBA.
Okay, we should go to CSL. We're running out of time. That's probably the outstanding result this morning, Peter. Probably
True.
as expected. The big item in the CSL result, it's upped its guidance. So it was guiding to full-year profit of between 2,050 and 2,110 million US dollars. It's upped its guidance for the full year to above that range to 2,110 to 2,170, I think, from memory. So a 60 million up in guidance. The market will like that. Expect CSL shares to continue to be going higher. They will be the biggest company by market cap.
As Homer Simpson would say, CSL is like donuts. Is there nothing they can't do? This is an extraordinary company. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money.